You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host, Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts, Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
You are listening to The Money Hour at 1150 AM KKNW, the Friday, July 17th virtual show. Because of COVID, our show is temporarily moved virtually. You can also listen to us on podcast or on air on Saturday at 3 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Sunday at 8 a.m. on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I am your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
All right. It is a great day to talk about money. That's what the show is all about, how to make money, save money so you can have a better quality of life for you and your family. If you're listening to our show at a different time of day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we are here to answer questions or connect you with the amazing guests that we have on the show. You can call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And right now on our show, we have David Jensen, the Jensen Reserve Mortgage Group, PMR, Survive, Strive, and Thrive for Seniors, right here at 1150 AM KKNW. David, welcome for the first time to our show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Likewise, very excited to have you here. And a little bit about David. David of the Jensen Reserve Mortgage Group. David Jensen has been in the mortgage industry for over 25 years. We're both rocking. I've been 25 years. David is over 25 years. I like to say over a quarter of a century. And has a HECM specialist for 5 years. David and his wife, Sally, have raised a large blended family and now enjoy a large group of grandkids that help to keep them young. Currently, David teaches continued education classes for realtors on reverse mortgages. He also teaches classes on starting and growing a business. He has started and successfully grown over a dozen businesses. He started the largest pie company in Washington State. He has started real estate sales companies, been a general contractor and land developer. And David, he loves the outside with his family, helping people to stay in their homes and navigate through their retirement years successfully. And the reason I wanted to bring David into the show today, because he is in the same arena that Keelan and I are in, but he specializes on reverse mortgages, which is a very specialized product. Keelan and I could do reverse mortgages, but unless you do it all the time and it really you're specialized in it, you're not going to be being of service to your clients. And then just meeting David and knowing him and connecting with him, he's really passionate about it. So David, again, we're very excited to have you on the show today. Thank you so much.
Just delighted to be here. Very excited. You guys are doing a great job.
Well, thank you, David. So survive, strive, and thrive for seniors. I could, see why you would say that, because it's such an important thing that you do. I mean, you could be the difference of making somebody's life after retirement. And for a lot of people, the only way to make a means, quite frankly, to thrive possibly. So let's start with the first part of that, David. You mentioned survive. Can you tell us what your take is on surviving?
Well, seniors today have to consider a lot of things besides retirement. There are challenges, there are choices, and a lot of changes. So being a senior, they used to say, getting old is not for the faint of heart. And maybe it's because they don't do it till they get older. They've had a little bit more experience. But there are a lot of challenges that happen. There are income restrictions. There are changes in lifestyle, from work to family location, and to sometimes being alone. These are all difficult things for anyone to take care of. Add to that health concerns, and there's emotional ebbs and flows that go through everything that happen. I'm excited to work with seniors and do that because when I am one of those, I qualify for these products, but also because I've seen what can happen in the smiles that I've seen with people's faces. I'll never forget one of the first times I met some people doing a reverse mortgage. I sat in their home, and the wife started crying. She says, "I'm going to be able to stay in this home." I'm kind of emotional, those who know me, and yes, you can. So there's a lot of excitement and a lot of energy that goes into reverse mortgages.
You know, great thing about being on video, because normally we're in studio and we're actually not on video. So this is actually a special space that we've been able to create out of COVID. But I was just going to say, before you, as soon as you were done chatting, that how I know that David's passionate about, because when he shares his stories, it brings a tear to his eye. And I'm glad that for you guys watching this, you actually saw that space was actually just created. And it's a beautiful thing when you can do what you love to do and you're passionate about how you're serving and helping others. So David, thank you again for that. So David, let's talk about what are the next steps or the steps needed in order to strive?
Well, striving is a result of effort. You make effort to grow and to develop, and that's what striving is about. The process starts striving to take an analysis of where you're at. What are the results of past decisions? What are the things that are innate or internal just to you? And we try to find a way to go through and figure out how we can do that. The reverse mortgage is one of the secret sauces in this ingredient. And that's what makes it so fun. We take a look at evaluating, do they want to stay in the home? Are they going to be able to stay in the home? Do they need to have a smaller home? They need to have a home with one level for obvious reasons. Some people have a more difficult time getting around. Many seniors find that they need to change because the kids and the family have moved away. The older days when people used to live close together and they'd stay, we live in a more world economy and people are out living, and sometimes it involves changing. And it involves also sometimes bringing the realtors in so they can go through and help them prepare for selling their home and actually helping them to purchase another home. So these are some of the striving things that we have to go through.
Yeah, David, I previously did retirement planning and managed wealth. And unfortunately, I was that guy to provide not great news sometimes. You know, people get this misunderstanding. If I have a couple $100,000 in the bank, I'm good to go for retirement. A lot of times it's the ostrich, they bury their head and not realize the situation until it's way late in life and there's not a whole lot they can do. So what a powerful tool in a way that you can help people and really elevate their retirement. The last piece to your survive, strive, and thrive is the thrive part. And I want to hear more about that. Do you mean like the end result, or what does thriving look like for your customers?
Well, let me say, first of all, with financial advisors, we've had a huge influx of financial advisors that are getting on board with what we're doing. Mm-hmm. It makes their jobs easier and provides a good, as you say, the bad news is there. It's always there. But it's nice to have some good news into the story. And this is part that brings the smiles. The thriving means to me is to grow. Like a flower thrives, a plant thrives. My wife does better than I at that. But thriving means to grow vigorously, luxuriously, to flourish. I like the one luxuriously because that's what we all want to have, is to have a luxurious life and an opportunity to continue growing, continuing to meet new people, do new things, develop new skills. Life doesn't stop because you're getting older. There's just new things and opportunities that are out ahead of you all the time.
Yeah, and David, with any product, whether you're talking about a 30-year fixed rate mortgage when somebody's going to keep their home short time and they should be going with an adjustable rate mortgage, whether you're talking about somebody thinking a 15-year fix is going to be a better option for them when actually they're really close to being able to make that mortgage payment and they've got concerns of what might be coming in the future, so they should be going with the 30-year fix. Every mortgage, even the simple mortgages like fixed rate, you can make a wrong decision that could be devastating for you in results. Reverse mortgage, it's so unique and special, and there's a lot of myths out there about reverse mortgages. It's not the right product for everybody, and it is the best product for people, and they really need it. So how do you deal with these myths out there, David?
Head on. There have been apologies to make, and there have been many, many changes in reverse mortgages in the 20 plus years that they've been around. I think about the story when this fellow I knew, he and his sister were concerned about their mother. She was getting older. Their father, her husband, had passed away recently, and she was living on $1,100 a month. Now, she lived on a golf course and had been a lifetime golfer and a very accomplished golfer, and she was sad because she didn't have the money to do those things. We were able to go keep her in the home, stop the kids from having to worry about her financially. And she was able to go through and put a large amount of money into her bank account. And as her explanation to me, and I'll never forget it, she says, "That's a lot of green fees." So that's what we like.
I like that. I might steal that one. I like green fees. This is good. Tell us.
No time for you to golf, Keelan.
I know, right? With my jacked up ACL knee, but I'll heal eventually, and I'll collect some green fees. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. David, can you talk to us specifically about the benefits of the reverse mortgage? And I know there are many, but address our listeners on some of the benefits that you see.
There are a lot of benefits. It would take a long, long time. The benefits range from not having to make a mortgage payment, from going through and having some security and independence, not having to be a drain upon their children. Sometimes it's a benefit for people who may own their home, but they're worried about having at bad times to draw into their 401k or their IRA. And sometimes that golden goose that's laid the retirement egg, if it's dipped into on the bad times, you can pay a big price. That's called the risk of adverse market conditions. And so that's one of the things that you have to worry about.
So David, Great Recession, in 2007, 2000 through 2010, there obviously was huge property value decreases. What happens if somebody has a reverse mortgage and then their property value drops?
Let me give you a great story for that one. Thank you. And I know we're running out of time, but the reverse story, good story was from this gentleman that I met. His father had passed away. He'd bought a home in the Bellevue area and paid cash for it, about $500,000. Several years after that, he didn't take any money out of it. He had a line of credit, and the line of credit develops and grows. So he went through and he called his family together about 2007, just around actually 2008. And he called me and said, "I've got some bad news. I've got cancer and the doctor's given me 2 months to live, but I've got a solution for you, and I've written you a check." His $300,000 had grown to $386,000. He owed nothing, but he had $386,000 against a home that was only worth $300,000. When he died, after they parted, had a farewell, the $386,000 was allowing them to buy their home. Fannie Mae, FHA, HUD goes through and allows the heirs to buy the home at 95% of the lower value. They bought the home, had it free and clear, had another $100,000 sitting in the bank. It was a happy solution.
Wow, that's a great solution. And that's a great way to end our time with you, David, with a great story. Thank you so much again for being here with us in studio, and look forward to definitely having you back.
Thank you.
Coming up next on the Money Hour, make you and your pet's life easier. Vicki Draper of Healing Your Animal, right here on 1150 AM KKNW.